A very good morning to one and all. I am Ms. Sanjali Navalkar from School of Chemical Sciences. On behalf of Goa University, extend my warm welcome to the Festival of Scope, that is science and technology, communication, popularization, and its extension. The essence of scientific spirit is to realize what a wonderful world it is that we live in, rightly quoted by Sir C.V. Raman. Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, that is, science is revered all over. And hence we are here to celebrate a week-long science festival to commemorate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, paying homage and showcasing India's achievement in 75 years of independence. And so, I request our beautiful dance performers, Ms. Aditi Naik, Tanvi Desai, Smriti Uttar, Manasvi Bodke, and Vaishnavi Joshi for their performance.
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विद्यारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्ये 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 नमो नमः. Salutations to Goddess Saraswati, who bestows upon us the fearlessness of life in the form of knowledge and intelligence. With humble salutations, we the disciples of Guru Srimati Mandira Joshi Tirodkar present before you Panchatunda Taratunda Mandara, a Nandi popularly known as Balwant in praise of Lord Shiv, with due salutations to Lord Ganesha. This is usually sung before the start of any play and considered to be auspicious. With divine light in your heart, we then present before you Mana Mandira to light up your life, which highlights the passionate relation of sadhaka, that is, disciple towards his guru, who helps him to fill the dream of tomorrow in your wings.
तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा.
मन मंदिरा ते जाने ओ मन मंदिरा ते जाने उजळून घे साधका मन मंदिरा ते जाने उजळून घे साधका संवेदना संवेदना संवादे सहवेदना जपदाना मन मंदिरा ते जाने उजळून घे साधका मन मंदिरा तळहाताच्या रेषानी सहज सुखा का भोगी कोणी तळहाताच्या रेषानी सहज सुखा का भोगी कोणी स्वयं प्रकाशी तू तारा चैतन्याचा गाभारा भर पंखातून स्वप्न उद्याचे झेप घेरे पाखरा उजळून घे साधगा मन मंदिरा ते जाणे उजळून घे साधगा मन मंदिरा मन मंदिरा मन मंदिरा
Indeed, dance allows us to express your thoughts and emotions without having to speak. And so I thank the beautiful performers for their beautiful performance. I now kindly request the coordinator, Dr. Sandesh Bugde. I now request Coordinator Dr. Sandesh Bugde and Co-Coordinator Dr. Lectina Gonsalves to escort the dignitaries to the dais. We are very delighted and honored to have among us Honorable Vice Chancellor of Goa University, Professor H.B. Menon, and the chief guest for today's function, Dr. Pradeep Sarmokadam, Member Secretary, Goa State Biodiversity Board. So I now request Ms. Twiti Mapari to kindly introduce the chief guest to us.
Good morning, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to everyone present here today at the Science and Technology Festival Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, coordinated by Vighyan Prasar and hosting partner Goa University. I would like to extend a special welcome to our chief guest of today's function, Dr. Pradeep Vittal Sarmokadam. Dr. Pradeep Vittal Sarmokadam is a member secretary of Goa State Biodiversity Board since 2015 till date. Goa State Biodiversity is an autonomous body of Government of Goa under Department of Science, Technology and Environment. Sir is also associated with Goa State Wetland Authority of Goa. Sir is also a nodal officer of state level steering committee for climate change. He is a member of Goa State Environment Protection Council as well as a member of State Technical Advisory on Waste Management for GSUDA. Dr. Pradeep Sarmokadam has the overall charge of day-to-day functioning of Goa State Biodiversity Board and Goa State Wetland Authority, including handling legal matters, committees, expert agencies, and personal and projects under Goa State Biodiversity Board, Government of Goa. Sir holds a graduate degree in chemistry, master's degree in ecology and environment, MA in population studies, and a doctoral degree in earth science. Sir is also a certified lead auditor for International Organization for Standardization such as ISO 9001, ISO 14000. Sir has an experience of over 16 years in industry, including mega hazardous unit, port and environmental consultancy sector prior to working with government sector for last 5 years. On behalf of Goa University, the hosting partner of this Science and Technology Festival, Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, I once again extend a very warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Pradeep Sarmokadam. We have been truly blessed to have you, sir, with us today. I also welcome all of you present here for the Science and Technology Festival. Thank you.
I now request Ms. Rochan Mahale to kindly welcome Honorable Vice Chancellors with a potted plant. Thank you, Ms. Roshan. Now I request Ms. Yuvrani Halankar to kindly welcome our chief guest. I request Siddhi Nanodkar to welcome our coordinator, Dr. Sandesh Bugde. I also request Shruti Thare to welcome our co-coordinator, Dr. Lectina Gonsalves. I now request Dr. Sandesh Bugde to kindly welcome the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all for the week-long festival of science and technology, Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate. Respected dignitaries on the days and off the days, Honorable Vice Chancellor Goa University, Professor Menon, we welcome you, sir. Yeah. Chief guest of today's function, Dr. Pradeep Sarmokadam, we welcome you, sir. Yeah. Speakers of the day, teachers, students, and everyone present here, I extend my warm welcome for this science event. In commemoration with the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor and Ministry of Culture, Government of India, in association with Vighyan Prasar, is organizing this Festival of Science and Technology, Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, from February 22nd to 28, 2022, across 75 different locations in India, and out of which Goa University is one of the hosting partners. During this festival, various events such as screening of scientific movies, radio talks, scientific lectures, science expo, book fairs, science demonstration, visit to nearby science institutes, etc. will be held for the students of schools, higher secondaries, colleges and universities, and also for the general public. We have already started with the various online competitions from 16th February 2022, and it is going on till 23rd February. So if any one of you have not joined, you have a still opportunity to join for these online competitions. So I look forward for your enthusiastic participation in this festival to make it a grand success. With this, I welcome you all again for the event. I wish you all a wonderful day at Goa University. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Light symbolizes purity, goodness, good luck and power. And hence I request the dignitaries on dais to kindly commence the festivities by lighting of the lamp. I now request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Menon, to address the gathering.
Dr. Pradeep, Member Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, and chief guest for the occasion, Dr. Sandesh Bugde, coordinator for this flagship program of Government of India, Dr. Lesitna Gonzalez, co-coordinator, Professor Rivengar, Dean, School of Earth, Ocean and Atmospheric Sciences, all my colleagues, friends, students and ladies and gentlemen. Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate. This is a program by Vighyan Prasar, basically to propagate the kind of technology, scientific and technological development the country has witnessed, propagate and then the extension, especially to the younger generation. So this is the whole idea behind this. And we also know that this is the 75th year of our independence. And under this, with the hashtag of Azadi Ka Amrita Mahotsav, we have been celebrating various programs in university and also across the state. In fact, under this Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, the idea is that if you look at the modern science, if you look at the present science, how the research carried out by our yesteryear scientists have finally evolved. In fact, if you do a back trajectory from the modern science to that, we would realize that how exactly that has happened. We should be very happy and we should be very thankful to our yesteryear scientists, because they were all visionary scientists, in the sense that if you just look at our Indian science, there are a number of classifications. We have CSIR, we have DRDO, we have ICAR, we have ICMR. Have you ever thought that why such a division has been done? In fact, CSIR is nothing but Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and it's an umbrella. Under that, we have number of the institutions, research institution, for various disciplines, various research activity. One such example is NIO. If you take that, it's basically dealing with ocean research. And likewise, we have CCMB, we have NCL, we have NPL. So it was designed in such a way that different aspect would be taken for research, and then youngsters should know that why research, what research, and then what is the necessity of doing research. So this would certainly percolate. This 7-day, 1-week program would certainly percolate to them, and they would be able to, get their own taste, their own, interest, so that they can mold themselves. So in that, I would thank Dr. Sandesh as well as the co-coordinator for doing this wonderful job. If you look at CSIR, they are doing basic research. But if you look at DRDO, application-oriented research. So see the vision. And if you look at ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, I always think that, when Vikram Sarabhai, almost 5 to 6 decades back, when he suggested about space research, what would have been the reaction of the people? But you see that where does it stand now? You say whatever, let it be in the case of defense, or in case of day-to-day activity, or even we have acquired the ability to locate, monitor the cyclones, and so that millions of people's lives should be saved. So the science had progressed like anything, and then I was just wondering that what would have been the reaction of those people of 7 decades back when this was proposed. And then you have ICMR. We have already experienced that how India has helped when the whole world was stuck with pandemic. And then we have ICAR. In fact, one of the backbones of our economy was agriculture. So we have ICAR. So likewise, we have number of different classification, and each classes do the research which in turn helps the economy, and which in turn helps the people, or let's say that to upgrade the life of the common man. So this is the whole purpose of this. And this is I realize that this is a 7 days program, and wherein there are number of the science related films, and I also have seen that there is a visit to different laboratories, And this is being organized, I think, in 2 venues, here as well as in the Silver Jubilee Hall. So, I mean, I don't want to add anything further. Rather, I would, in fact, congratulate the coordinators, and also I would thank our Government of India for considering Goa University as one among the 75 institutions or the locations where this is being organized. Let's say that, let's hope that every year we will have this, so that at least the younger generation will get an idea about the science, about the research, what is kind of research going on across the country, and all that. In fact, if you look at, I would add one more sentence, that if you look at ISRO's development, it has gone from Chandrayaan to now Gangayaan. Gangayaan is nothing but, we will have unmanned as well as manned spacecraft. So manned spacecraft, again, that manned spacecraft has been designed and the manufactured within India, indigenously made spacecrafts, and then people will be sent into that. So we have gone to that extent. So let all the students, youngsters enjoy this, and I have nothing else to add. Rather, wish you all very best and success for the coming 7 days. Let you have fruitful discussion. I would request all the youngsters to interact with those the experts who are coming and delivering lectures, so that the curiosity should make you to ask number of questions. You have to ask number of questions, so that end of the day, at least the Government of India would realize that whatever objective we have started with, it, at least half of that would be met. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request our chief guest, Dr. Pradeep Sarmokadam, to share his thoughts on this occasion.
Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the organizers for Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate program. We call it as a Vighyan when we speak in Hindi. In other languages, we call it Vighyan. Now, it's very interesting that this particular line has been taken from the existing Vidvan Sarvatra Pujyate, and how beautifully it has been coined to call it Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate. And for such a program, the dignitaries on the days, Professor Harilal Menon sir, Vice Chancellor of Goa University, Bugde sir, as well as Gonsalves madam. We have Professor Rivankar sir, our ex-board member, in the audience, and all the organizers, students, faculty, and the participants of this Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate program. Indeed, we are very lucky that we are born in India, because in our culture itself, we have science. If you look at our culture, we have 14 Kala, 64 Vidyas, 18 Shastra. What is this? 18 Shastra is nothing but the different faculties of science, if you look at it. Whether it is Padartha Vignyan, what we call physics, material science, whether we call Vignyan, word itself is if you break it, it is a Vishesh, the specific, the special knowledge in any subject. When you have a systematic approach, then you call it a scientific thing. Even a lady who cooks at home, I don't think we should regard her less, because she is also a scientist. Every day she is being cooking till it becomes perfect to your taste. And I think that has been the part of our culture, and I am so happy to see the tagline Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, because Pujyate is something that is there in our culture. We had a beautiful program today morning, if you see. It was an excellent dance, Indian classical nritya, wherein you must have seen Tatkar, how the beautiful beat is displayed by all of them. They were like Saraswati, and we worship almost everything that we have in our life. If you see the Indian culture, Indian ethos, Indian lifestyle, and it is very, very close to the nature. It has been perfectly connected to the circadian rhythm. I have been also the student of Indian classical music. So for 18 years I had learnt almost Indian classical music from the great maestros, and I can tell you with confidence that the that the classification of ragas that we have got is nothing but a scientific expression, and anything that is called as a shastra is also regarded as kala or as a vidya. So we worship, and that's why I think this line is so apt, that we are talking about Vidwan Sarvatra Pujyate. We worship. Are we really worshipping? And what is it that Vijnan gives us? And is it something that has been coined now only, or this Vijnan has been existing from the past? As sir has rightly said, we should thank the scientists of yesteryears, means our C.V. Raman sir, the Nobel laureate, or any other scientist who were visionary in not only having CSIR, ICAR. Now we are happy to see that there are so many institutions like Antarctic Research Center, INCOIS. Last time when we were preparing State Action Plan for Climate Change, we were searching for different data. We took almost 100 years past data from IMD, 100 years future projections was done. We involved scientists from BITS, scientists from IIEMS, and you will be surprised when we do the analysis of data, we realized that almost 49% of Goa is vulnerable. Now that is what science gives us. Why science is important? Because whatever traditionally we have been knowing, for example, almost 80% of our medicines today also come from nature. Do you know that? And that's why biodiversity is very important. I was invited last week, and then I thought whether I am the right person for this program, because this is Vijnana. And then I thought over it and I said yes. Because Vijnan does not mean that the science that is only taught in the schools, but it also means the knowledge that we have been inheriting since the ages. And if you look at that knowledge, and if you see the system of education today, I think we would certainly have to rate the old school of knowledge in a very different way, because it was a Gurukul system. What does it mean? If one Aryabhatta discovers something, that his students, they would go on adding to the knowledge. Today also we do it in research. Whenever we do PhD, we do the secondary research. We find what already research has been done, and then we go further from there. Without reading the secondary research which already has been done in your own field, if you feel that everything that you are learning is a new discovery, then it cannot be called as a science. That means you have to go further, one step at least, to what has happened in the past. If you look at it, I think there is very little documentation that has been done about our Chauda Kala, Chausashta Vidya and Atra Shastra, the Puranas, the Vedas that we have. And when I was looking at these documents, after doing my PG Diploma in Environmental Pollution Control Technology, where I stood first, and then I was very proud that we have been conserving environment and nature, and then I go to see already these things have been spoken by Bhavabhuti and other scientists. If you go to see Patanjali, the enormous documentation that has happened, perhaps we have to start referring to these documents. Because why I am saying this? Because the tagline of today's program is Vijnana Sarvatra Pujyate. And if you really want to worship science, first is our mindset, that we have to have humbleness, humility towards anything that we learn, towards the teacher that we learn from. And then the teacher is not only limited to the teacher in the classroom. When we call any teacher a guru, it means that beyond the classroom also he is our guru. And in the past they used to stay in the house of guru, so that it is not only learning when it is 1 hour lecture, but it is also learning when the teacher is in really good mood to take you in the field and show you which plant gives you the best qualities. And that's why perhaps when we talk about biodiversity documentation in our act, Biological Diversity Act, we do something known as People's Biodiversity Registers. And this is very important, because whenever we talk of economy, whenever we talk of the scientific advancement, it has to have a strong foundation. And this is exactly what happened when US was about to patent basmati, or I was about to patent turmeric. What was the evidence that we had to prove that turmeric belongs to us and it cannot be patented by US? That basmati is our own variety. Today we have khola chili as GI. So we can certainly say, if somebody wants to patent khola chili, it cannot be patented, because already it is a GI tagged chili in Goa. Similarly, We have Harmal chili, which is GI tagged. We have Maidechi kili, which has been GI tagged. And we have so many varieties of cowpea or sane, which have potential to be GI. We have Kumarzueche gula, means the specific variety of brinjal that we have got. And all this is economy. And how it comes? It comes from traditional knowledge, because our ancestors have tested, tried, done various condiments, and that's why, because we had some documentation of haldi or the turmeric, we were able to defend it on the international forums, and it was not patented by America. So what does it mean? That anything that is patented is again becoming an economic source for those countries. And in that regard, if you see, India has a tremendous potential, because we have tremendous diversity per square meter. We are blessed to have Western Ghats along the Goa, which is not silver but the golden lining that we have got, and the diversity per square meter is much higher. Our waters have so many species of fish, and not only that, we have so much paddy varieties. If I tell you that right now, say 40, 43, 45 may have been documented, but our country had more than 4,000 varieties of rice itself. That means how rich we are. But have we documented? There comes the science. And it is not only that the universities and the institutions will have to do the documentation or the research, but it should be everybody's business, and that's why the tagline says Sarvatra Pujyate. That means everybody has to not only learn science, but the most important, that your fundas have to be clear. If you feel that any fundamental is shaky, let me tell you, you won't be able to do anything. If you do not understand anything, please ensure that you meet the right people, you talk to your teachers, you talk to your professors. You have Google Baba who is available, but always verify when you take any information from internet, take it from the right sources. Verify it with 2 to 3 sources, and then you should believe in it. So when we talk about Vijnana Sarvatra Pujyate, I am so happy that the university has taken this to the masses, and it should not be limited to few in the university and in the institutions. Research should become everybody's business, and that's why the initiatives of citizen science are getting popularized. I think it's a great beginning in the right direction. I wish all the best to the organizers. I thank them for inviting me. And I would like to say that we also, through our board, have some stalls in the exhibition. So do visit them. And interesting thing, I would conclude with one example for all of you, that we have a multi-processing center in Pali Kothambi. All those women who are working there are not even 10th standard. And if you see the experiments that they carry out, after we gave them the functional training for food processing, the experiments that they carry out, that training has boosted their confidence. And they are not only preparing various condiments, but they also try various formulations now. But they always had that feeling that we are not qualified food scientists. So we gave them that confidence. And I can tell you that this is exactly what should happen. Those who could not take formal education in a particular subject because of their limitations, we have to empower them. And that is only possible if we say that Vijnana Sarvatra Pujyate. It is a beautiful shloka which says that Swadeshe Pujyato Raja Vidvana Sarvatra Pujyate. That means the king is worshipped, and you fear the king only in your own state or the territory. But outside the territory, when an intellect goes, he is respected everywhere, across the lines. And same thing happens with Vijnana. That if you really have a scientific fundamentals, if you really understand your subject well, if you really master, I am sure that everywhere, wherever you go, you will be respected. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for some valuable information. I now request the chief guest and other dignitaries on the dais to officially release the brochure of the event. I request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Menon, to give a memento to the chief guest as a token of appreciation. I request Dr. Sandesh Bugde to give the memento to our Vice Chancellor. As we are nearing the end of the inaugural function, I request Dr. Lectina Gonsalves, Assistant Professor, Parvatibai Chogule College of Arts and Science, the coordinator of this event, to propose the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to you all. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who work tirelessly to bring to you this 7-day festival of scope, that is science and technology, communication, popularization, and its extension. The festival officially commences today, but as you know, some of the online activities which are a part of this festival began a week ago. Organizing an event of this size in a short span of time is indeed a commendable task. And I, along with my fellow coordinator, Dr. Sandesh Bugde, wholeheartedly wish to thank the people who made this event possible. First and foremost, we thank and acknowledge the efforts of Vighyan Prasar, Principal Scientific Advisor, and the Ministry of Culture for the conceptualization, funding, and overall guidance to conduct this festival. Heartfelt thanks to Dr. Kinkini Dasgupta Misra, the chairperson and organizing committee at Vighyan Prasar, and Dr. Arvind Ranade, the coordinator at Vighyan Prasar. We sincerely thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Goa University, Professor Menon, for gracing this occasion with his presence and lending his support for this festival. Thank you, sir. We also thank Professor Nadkarni, Registrar of Goa University, for his unflinching help in organizing this event. A profound gratitude to Dr. Pradeep Sarmokadam, chief guest of today's function, who has been kind enough to accept our invitation on short notice. Thank you, sir. We wholeheartedly thank the Director of Education, Shri Bhushan Savaikar. He has been instrumental in helping us reach out to the schools and higher secondary schools within a short time. A heartfelt gratitude to all the principals of science colleges in Goa, headmasters, and teachers of schools for their enthusiastic response. The organizing team of this festival has been working day and night for the last few weeks. Words are insufficient to describe our thanks and gratitude to each one of you. Your time and effort is greatly appreciated. We also thank the research students, volunteers, and the non-teaching staff for their ready help whenever it was needed. I also thank Ms. Aditi Naik and her group for giving us the mesmerizing performance. Thanks to Ms. Sanjali Navelkar for comparing this function. Last but certainly not the least, we thank all the students, participants for being here today. It is you that will make this festival a grand success. I wish you all a great day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. I request everyone to rise for the national anthem. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ Kalabanga, Vindhyamachala Yamuna Ganga, Uchala Jaladitaranga. तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाए तब जय गाता, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे, जय हे, जय हे, जय 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 हे। I once again thank each and everyone for being present here today, and I request to kindly join us for refreshments. This will be followed by a lecture on advancement in Ayurveda by Professor Anura Bari, Principal of Gomantak Ayurveda Mahavidyalay and Research Center, Roda. I hope you all have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
lecture today by Madam Professor Anura Bale, who is the principal of Gomantak Ayurved Mahavidyalaya and Research Center in Shiroda, Goa. She will be talking on advancement in Ayurveda. I would like to request ma'am to kindly take a seat on the dais. I would also like to request Professor Sanjeev Gadi sir, who will be the chairperson of today's session, to also take a seat on the dais. Professor Sanjeev Gadi sir is the HOD of the Department of Biotechnology, Goa University, and he is also the Director of Student Placement and Alumni Relations at Goa University. Yes. I would like to request Professor Ghadi sir to kindly introduce the speaker and take over the session.
Good morning and welcome to Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate. So it's my privilege to basically welcome and introduce today's speaker, that is Dr. Bala Anura Prashant, who is the principal at the Gomantak Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya Research Center at Shiroda. She did a BMS, MD and PhD from University of Pune, and currently she is the principal at the Ayurveda College. Besides being the principal, she has held several positions of importance. To name some of the few, she is the member of the Advisory Council of Indian System of Medicine since January 2021. She is also the member of IHC Committee and the Skill Enhancement Committee at Goa University. She is also the member of National Ayush Mission, State Ayush Society, Goa. And she is also the PhD guide at the Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapith University. She is a recipient of several national awards. So she has received the National Award for Best MD Thesis given by AISR. She has also received the Best Teacher Award by the same agency. And she is the recipient of Dhanvantri Award by Sandhu Pharmaceutical, Ayush 2015, and also the Goa Ayurved Medical Association Award in 2018. She has been the guest lecturer at several national and international events, attended several national and international conferences, presented papers in Ayurveda, and also has been the resource person at Ayurveda colleges as well as the Directorate of Health Services there. She is also the resource person at several of the institutes, and she has organized several national seminars, webinars, and conferences. And she is a regular columnist at the Tarun Bharat and has several publications to her credit. So it's really my privilege to welcome Dr. Anura Bale, who is the principal of the Ayurveda College. Madam, please. Thank you.
I would now like to request Madam to deliver her lecture.
Good morning, everybody. Respected dignitaries, the coordinator organizer, Dr. Sandesh Bugde sir, Dr. Aniket, Dr. Madam Gonsalves, other coordinator, teachers present here, and my dear students. A very good program organized in the Goa University, Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, for a week. I congratulate the organizers for organizing such wonderful program which will boost the knowledge of the new young citizens of our country. Since this is the program under the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, we are celebrating 75 years of independence, and that such type of program should be organized to propagate the science and to boost the students, to do some research, to have some innovative ideas amongst them, and which will help the society in turn to have certain research activities further. I also thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to express my views on Ayurveda. Since we say the advancement, science and technology, there are various advancement, various research is going on in different fields, in different science and different disciplines. When we say research, nowadays if you are going through the books or the reading, you will find that artificial intelligence, AI, has come into force, which will help to reduce the manpower. Considering the professions, medical professions, there are now robotic surgeries have come, everything is done under robot. But still, if you see, the consciousness is something different and which cannot be correlated or compared with this artificial intelligence or these robots. Because this consciousness cannot be reproduced, it cannot be adopted. It is within. And if you see, this consciousness is very much important in testing oneself. Now coming back to the point regarding Ayurveda, if you see the science, what knowledge, this is my question to the students, what knowledge do you have about this science? Can you please anybody raise the hand and tell me? Let's have some interactive session. What knowledge do you have about the science? Anybody here? Regarding Ayurveda? Yes? Anybody can raise the hand and tell me? Because what we observe that till 10th or 12th, in the syllabus also, nothing is included regarding this, the introductory part of the nature or the biodiversity, what Dr. Pradeep sir has said, which is very much important. Because if you see now, from deforestation, we are going to reforestation, want to maintain the ecology, keep the biodiversity. It is very much important. And if you see Goa, which is rich in vegetation, so we want to see what our science says, Ayurveda. It has existed among centuries, and long back, thousands of years back, the science is existing, and it has existed, it was existing, still existing, and it has reached a very much importance over the globe. Because many people now over the world are interested in maintaining their positive health. Because nobody wants to be sick. Everybody wants to be healthy, isn't it? Nobody wants to be sick. So how to keep healthy oneself? What happens? We usually, when we are sick, we go to the doctor. So instead, when you are healthy, you can just consult how to maintain your positive health and improve the longevity of the life. This is told by our science. So this science has existed among many centuries back, but people have started realizing its true potential in these few years, despite a great deal of advancement. Next. Yeah. This is the oldest medical science of human civilization. It stresses principally on prevention of the body ailments, as I said right now, rather than simply relieving on pathological problems. That means first our science says you try to keep yourself healthy, maintain your health first. Try to preserve your health first. Now how to prevent diseases will come next. And then its postulations proposed by Ayurveda always hold good value even today. Despite a great deal of advancement in the field of allopathic medicines, many of the people still rely on age-old Ayurvedic remedies to improve their quality of life. There has been a gradual shift in people's sentiment towards adopting natural medicine and healthcare practices. For many health-conscious population, nature has become the new mantra for healthy lifestyle. Now what our three components are, what our science says, first try to prevent the diseases and then try to prolong your life, prolongation of life and promotion of health. These are the main three principles of Ayurveda, which deals with science of life and health. Next. So what does prevention of disease is? The prime aim of this science is protection of the health of the healthy individual, prevention of the diseases with the help of different modalities, and second aim is elevation of diseases if at all it originates. Present days health problems are more non-communicable than communicable, which is the major cause of psychosomatic illness. So every day now people are inclining towards herbal remedies and then which help them in gaining confidence with the result of herbal remedies. Many of you must have heard of kitchen garden. Even now government is sponsoring, having schemes on kitchen garden. Some plants to be grown in the kitchen. Do you know which plants to be grown in the kitchen, which are regularly used in your daily diet? Anybody can tell here, at least girls, if not boys. Anybody can tell which plants can be grown in the kitchen garden? Even government is sponsoring, they are having schemes for that, so that one has to maintain the positive health. Yeah, good. Coriander is one. Tomato. Yeah, curry leaves. Good. Anything else? Tamdi bhaji. Yes. So there are many, even turmeric can be grown. Curry leaves are there. Kadi nimba is there. There are many things which we regularly use in your diet and which can be grown in the surrounding vicinity of the area of where we live, of our residence, and which can be used in our regular diet. So now the question is, healthy modification in the lifestyle will be the only solution for such problems. See, what can be the healthy modification? As I said, just now you have to maintain the health of the healthy. Now maintaining health of the healthy means what? If you see nowadays, specific your age group, children, what are your likes and dislikes as far as food is concerned? What you like to have nowadays? What you like to have? Pizza, burger. See, everybody shakes, say yes, we would like to have it, right? Then anything, whatever is much of tomato ketchup, correct? Cheese, butter. See, now everybody is alert. Everybody wants to have this. So is it good to have regularly such food in your diet, you tell me? Why no? Yes, you are right. It's not advisable regularly. Once in a while, if you feel like having, you can have it. But why not advisable regularly? It's not healthy. Continuously, we say we should have balanced diet. Balanced diet means what? You should have all types, something sweet, something salty, something sour, something bitter also, something astringent, isn't it? Something very spicy. So all such diet should be there, that is called as balanced diet. Means your rose, your bhaji. Many times we say, many even patients, they come to us, they say, our children, they don't like vegetables nowadays. They don't eat vegetables. In fact, in other words, we say you have to have regularly leafy vegetables in your diet. Understand? So regularly, the people don't like to have. And what balanced diet says? You should have your rice, dal, or if you are non-veg eater, you should have your fish curry, whatever, then leafy vegetables, even then grains, cereals, all these things should be included. And when you have such type of food, it is called as balanced diet. Don't say we don't like to have such diet. If you have this type of diet regularly in the morning, in the night, then you can maintain your health. See, the first we say, regimens mentioned in Dinacharya, that is daily health promotional activities. What is Dinacharya? I said regimen mentioned in Dinacharya. My topic was actually somewhat little different in advancements more, but looking at the audience and the school and the college children, what I felt is we should take this first, which will help you to maintain your health first, then you can go for the research. If you are healthy, you can do the research, isn't it? Yes, right. So what to maintain? Dinacharya is what? To maintain daily regimen, day to day. At what time you should get up in the morning, at what time you should have your breakfast, at what time you should have your lunch, and at what time you should have your dinner. These are certain specific times mentioned. You cannot say in the holidays, I'll get up by 11:30. I will have brunch. What is brunch now? Brunch is what? That is typical common word used in Goa, what I hear here. What is brunch? Breakfast and lunch together. Is it advisable, you feel? No. And what you eat for the brunch then? Something like bread, butter, isn't it? Something cheese, which is very salty. Is it advisable to have at that 11:30, 12 o'clock? No. Then you will say by 6 o'clock you are hungry, you will munch something at 6 o'clock. And then 8:30 you will say, then just now I had, so I will have my dinner by 10:30, 11 and go to bed by 12. Is it advisable, you feel? It is not at all. After some days, you will find some days to be healthy, and after some days, you will feel that you are falling sick. There are some problems like skin rash. Sometimes some problem arises with your bowels evacuation. You don't pass your bowels properly. And from that point, all the sickness arises. And then you go to the doctor. And you never say that you have such type of diet. What you will say? Whatever present complaints you have, you explain to the doctor, and doctor gives you those medicines. So in other way around, if you start maintaining this way day-to-day regimen, having some exercises also, 8:30 breakfast, even though you are on the vacation, then by 12:31 you have your lunch properly, as I said. Then something snacks and tea or coffee at 4:30, and by before 8 you should always have your dinner, 8 to 8:30, not more than that. Then you can, even during school days, you can have your studies later. Understand? If you follow this daily regimen and some exercises in the holidays, then you will feel always healthy. Next is Rutucharya. There is seasonal diet and regimens especially. Seasonal diet means what? For example, there are, how many seasons we have? Which are they? Summer, rainy and winter. In these also there is some break of 2. There is spring season, there is autumn season, different. So, okay, you know summer season, you know rainy season, you know winter season, right? So in summer, see, what happens? There are regular changes in the body. As per we are said, what our science says is we are the epitome of the universe, or we are the epitome of the nature. Meaning what? We are small representatives of the nature. Small representatives means whatever nature changes in the nature goes, similar changes happen in our body. For example, as you see, whatever changes in rainy season, you won't feel hungry, isn't it? Whatever, in other words, even you don't feel thirsty. In winter, what happens? Do you find some changes in winter compared to rainy? As the rainy season from July, June, July, August, September, then you see, you find certain changes in the weather also. Extreme hot we say. We say October heat is coming now. Isn't it? It's October heat, it's November heat. Heat is too much. But in December, comparatively, it is less and you feel more hungry. Your appetite increases. Why? Because the sun rays are not those strong as compared to summer. In winter, in December, January, February, sun rays, it is said two skalas, Dakshinayana and Uttarayana. One is sun rays are strong. In other 6 months, sun rays are not strong. Other words, in summer season, you feel more thirsty than hungry. Correct? In winter, you feel more hungry than thirsty. So accordingly, your diet should change. That doesn't mean in summer, if you feel continuously thirsty, continuously go on having some chilled things, some chilled ice creams and everything. You have your diet. In addition, you should have plenty of water, because water content from the body is extracted, reduced. Water content from the body is reduced and you feel more and more thirsty in the summer season. So to compensate with that, you should have more and more water to drink. This is just the opposite in winter. So all these seasonal changes what are there, and whatever you get in those certain seasons, you get certain vegetables. You get certain fruits, though they are available nowadays because of the change, because of the modifications. We get all type of fruits in all 12 seasons or 12 months, isn't it? But which are particularly grown in that particular season, you should have them. The qualities, naturally, they are different. For example, you know what you call maskachi bhaji. You know maskachi bhaji? Shengo, maskacho shengo, nobody knows? Drumsticks, yeah. Maskacho shengo, everybody knows? Though they are found all 12 months, they are typically grown more in abundance in the rainy season. And even if you see the tree, you will find it well grown in the rainy season. Why? Because it is advisable to, only one example, there are many, but one example I am giving you. Why? Because more of the joint pains you observe in the rainy season. And that is particularly if you have that, at least weekly, that pain subsides on its own. So what I want to stress upon here is, whatever is grown naturally, found naturally, if you have it in your body regularly, as mentioned, as said in nature, definitely you will maintain your health. And if it is grown, I don't say you eat regularly so much. Whatever sufficient quantity required, you have to have it. So what this is Rutucharya or seasonal diet and regimens. Then purificatory measures. If required, in your young age, there are typical deworming is done, you see. Deworming, isn't it? Sometimes you find worm infestation. So this worm infestation, to remove it, you should have cleansing of the body. That is called as sometimes purificatory measures. Then apatya concept of complementary and contradictory diet, as I explained you. Do not have regularly, always having salts, salty pickles, papads, curds in the diet. Is it good? No. How many of you have regularly pickles and papads in the diet? No, you should not. Because they contain, why? Because they contain more of salt in it. Salty, sour and hot, spicy. So other qualities which are required, which will be lessened from the body, and these qualities will aggravate in the body and will show some type of disorders. That is pathya and apatya. For example, you see one person continuously sitting in AC. For nowadays it is in from IT technology world. Everybody is in with the computers, laptops, and it requires air condition, isn't it? So they are doing their work. And sometimes some people, they say they suffer from sinusitis, running nose, sneezing because of AC. What some people will say, it doesn't affect, it doesn't harm. Meaning what here? What does this suggest? Some people say, if I go in the little bit of hot sun, I feel giddiness. One person will say, even if I go for a 10 minutes, I'm comfortable. Isn't it? So on what does this depend? This depends on what our science basically stresses is two individuals, they are different. They are not the same. Though we find we have 2 hands, 2 legs, and structurally we are the same, but functionally we are not same. See, one person will be cool and calm. Even if I say something, he won't get angry. But here, if I say something for a girl, she will immediately stand and respond with the anger, isn't it? So 2 persons are not the same. They are 2 different in nature. So accordingly, it has to be assessed, and the treatment is, or the diet is advised accordingly. So wholesome, unwholesome diet and regimen. So if we observe the treatment principles of Ayurveda, see here the first line of treatment is Nidan Parivarjan. Nidan Parivarjan here means whatever continuously you take, that has to be eradicated. Don't immediately give the treatment. We don't go for giving the treatment immediately. We take the history, we see the constitution, that is how the person, nature of the person is, and then we advise whatever you are doing, first try to avoid it, and then go for the treatment. Next. So it is known to be a complete medical system that comprises physical, psychological, philosophical, ethical, and spiritual health. In Ayurveda, each cell is considered, this is very important, to be inherently an essential expression of pure intelligence, hence called self-healing science. Here, what our World Health Organization, everybody knows, isn't it? WHO, you must have heard it in this pandemic now. WHO name, isn't it? So what our World Health Organization says, the definition of the health is, they have now given is, it is the well-being state, balanced state, physical as well as mental. Physical, sharirik, mental is mansik, both physical and mental well-being. They have given this definition now, which was long back, thousands of years back, considered by our science. Because mind, the condition of mind is very important, which was stressed in the definition long back in our Ayurvedic science, which states you have to, when you take into consideration any single person, you have to take into consideration its health, mental status first. And then you have to treat a person. And nowadays you must have seen many children, because of exams, isn't it? People like you, age like you, many children, what they say, because of exams, we have stress, more of stress of online examination, now it has changed to offline examination, we are under stress. So this stress-oriented, stress-related, there are many diseases. How this stress comes from? Related to mind. So mind should also be considered when you see the health of the person. Next. So according to the World Health Organization, about 70 to 80% of the world population rely on non-conventional medicines, mainly of herbal, non-conventional means herbal sources in their healthcare. So the public interest for the treatment with complementary and alternative medicine is mainly due to increased side effects in the synthetic drugs. When you take synthetic drugs, there are also side effects more. So lack of curative treatment for several chronic diseases, high cost of new drugs, microbial resistance and emerging diseases, etc. So in this pandemic also, when the people suffered, many of them came to us. It is said that this was due to lack of immunity. This viral infection affected a person, immediate infection caused because of lack of immunity. So how to boost the immunity of the human being? What additional medicines what you have? What additional treatment what you have to boost the immunity? So initially we had given certain powders like to take regularly to make the decoction and take them. And the assessment, the analysis, this is one of the analysis showed that some people who had mild infection that was cured by home quarantine only with continuous decoction. Those who had severe infection, naturally they had to get admitted and get the treatment done. But those who had mild infection and who had taken these medicines And then they were home quarantined, and it was continued for more 3 months, and they are quite healthy without any side effects of the pandemic. So in the last centuries, medical science has made incredible advances all over the globe. Overall mortality rates decreased. Expectancy of the life has increased nowadays because all the people are health conscious. A lot of new life-saving drugs discovered, which helps us to fight against several infections and other diseases. And in advancement in the field of technology has boosted the capacity of modern science. So this World Health Organization, in an international conference on primary health care in 1978, commonly known as Declaration of Alma-Ata, expressed the need to achieve the goal, see, the health for all. The main organization also says it is health for all, step-by-step manner through tackling the poverty, illiteracy, and poor sanitation. It incorporates a new global health policy. Health for all in 21st century also set the goal to achieve health security, health equity, increased healthy life expectancy, and to ensure access to essential quality healthcare for all. Now, when we see modern medical science, despite so many achievements and progress, it's finding itself difficult to reach to every people and deal with ever-increasing diseases and disorders. The major question still exists whether the goal has achieved. The second is whether health for all can be possible without scientific integration of traditional holistic medicine in clinical practice. So now the world is looking at all for what? The medicines are very expensive. All cannot afford to have so much expensive medications. So now world is looking for what? Easily available, better physiological compatible traditional system of medicine and holistic approach to avert such problem and provide the basic health care to all. So at the beginning of decade, the Ayurvedic way of healing was more dependent upon churnas, kashayas, gutikas, etc. Ayurveda have many challenges including standardization, drug delivery, valid control, randomization, practitioners' influence, choosing of placebo, something which is not proper drug, placebo, and the interference of diet and panchakarma. Ayurveda approaches are often highly individualized. As I just now told you, an attempt to respond to patient's need. The Ayurveda approaches are highly individualized. That is what we say, medication given for one person will not be applicable for another person. For example, if you have headache, what we say, take paracetamol, right? You will take paracetamol today, crocin. In other words, crocin you will take. Your headache will subside. Then if your friend has headache, you will say, take crocin. The headache will subside. For some time, again she will complain, tomorrow I have the same headache. Her headache will subside for a long time. Her headache will be for shorter period. Why? Because these two individuals are different, the cause of headache may be different. Her headache may be because of cold and cough and other problems, whereas her headache may be for indigestion problem. So one crocin tablet will not be sufficient for all. Temporary relief, definitely you will get. I don't say no to it. You will get temporary relief. But taking this crocin or problem tablets again and again will suffice your problem? No. You want permanent relief from that. Taking it again and again is harmful to the body also. So to have this permanent solution, what we say, every individual is different and you have to get your examination done how the individual is different from another one. The churnas are, that will take later. Previous slide. See what advancement I said. Previously, what we used to give our ancestors and all, prepare some decoctions, prepare some churnas, powders, isn't it? And they used to give enclosed in digestible sheaths. Now it is what advancement is done that the churnas are enclosed in digestible sheaths and have become modern day pills, tablets, capsules. Kashayas have become syrups. Now we have come with different tablets, even different syrups, and some whatever we used to apply, some powders. Now they have come as ointment. So even these pharmaceuticals have come with different modifications in it, because churnas are sometimes bitter, not palatable. So the people say we cannot take these churnas, isn't it? Instead, they are coated with, they are made into tablets or capsules. Even decoctions sometimes are not palatable. So they have changed to syrups. And those powders and all, they have changed to ointments. Here are some churnas, they are powders, which then change. See, these are the tablets. Gutti Vatti we say, these are different formulations. These are directly now old Gutti Vattis, they are converted to tablets. Because these Gutti Vattis sometimes they take more time to get dissolved in the water. So instead, tablets are easier. Next. There are some decoctions. Even of these decoctions, different tablets, capsules are made. Sometimes we advise patient to take ghruta means ghee. Some medicines, some powders to be taken with honey. Some powders to be taken with ghee. And what people complain, we cannot take powders with ghee. Otherwise, we'll take them with water. Instead, now the pharmaceuticals have come making directly this type of kashaya tablets, which are very much palatable and also good. These are the raw materials and even come with granules. Granules are good and easy, can be taken with milk. Also palatable and also effective. All these which have come, they have similar effect on the body. Even previously we used to give medicated enemas. Medicated enemas by these syringes. Now the companies have come with pouches. They are called as basti pouch. Basti is medicated oil. Directly it is easier for a patient also to take. So otherwise this is not handy. These syringes require some assistant, whereas one single person can directly take this medicated oil pouches. Now Suvarna Prashan is one of the concept. Have you heard of this Suvarna Prashan? Anybody? Yes? What is it? Means all are attentive. Good. What is Suvarna Prashan? Yeah, somebody can tell me please. Yeah, correct. Correct. Gold preparation. It is for kids, age up to 5 or 7 years of age. That is, some decoction is prepared out of gold, and then from little gold is added to it. Out of gold, not full gold it is. Some medicated decoctions are there, and the purified gold is added to it, and then it is prepared. Now, then we add honey to it, and there are 2 drops are given to the child. 2 to 4 drops depending on the age. Now they have come with syringes, 2 ml syringes like. So directly you can put it in give it to your child. Sometimes what happens, some people say if you directly from 2 drops to one child and same 2 drops to another child, what people say, same you are adding to the another child. People are sometimes conscious now, health conscious. So these syringes, one you give 4 drops or 5 drops, you can throw it out, you use another syringe. This is one of the most important concept in Ayurveda. Nadi Pariksha, pulse, examination of pulse. Our old Vaidyas, even now, by examining the Nadi, examining the pulse, they used to say what kind of disorder a person is suffering from. And accordingly, they used to treat the patient. No need of checking their BP, no need of ausculting, no need of asking the questions also. Directly just checking the Nadi per pulse, they used to. So this Nadi Pariksha is very much important as far as our science is concerned. Nowadays, as we say, advancement in these churnas, kashayas, tablets have modification in the preparation of medicines have come. Similarly, it has come this Nadi Tarangini, one software is come, wherein it gives you the graph. We have three main humors, like Vata, if you have heard of, I don't know, I don't want to go into details of it. We have three humors, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which says one is responsible for the movements of the body. One is responsible for the growth of the body. And another is responsible for the conversion. See, when we grow, what is the cause? How we grow? Because there are continuous conversion processes, chemical processes in the body. Conversions are going on in the body, isn't it? And that's why there is transformation from young age to middle age to old age. Isn't it? Continuously we grow. So these three humors are responsible, and their assessment is done directly by the graph. The graph gives you what kind of dominance of these amongst these three humors, what dominance you have, and according to the dominance, your diet and everything comes. That is Nari Tarangini software. It has also, the person also received award from the Ayush, Excellence Award in this field for the Nadi Tarangini software. So this what I said just now, that is the individual outlook. See now here three people. The concept of individual constitution is to understand our relation with nature. How we are resembling nature. See, one is moving with that cart, one is sitting, and one also is sitting and talking. So one can stand for a longer period, one can go with this for a longer period, and one can sit. If you tell him to go walking, he won't be able to for a longer period. So these are the three types of natures. Two human beings are not similar. Why? Because as I said, the nature is different, isn't it? The nature of a person is different. Even if you see when you are sitting in the class, some children, they have the habit of moving their legs. Do you do that? Continuous move your legs? No, some students have, isn't it? So that is the nature, it differs. Behavioral pattern is also different. Some are continuously go on talking, whereas some are not. Some are cool and calm, isn't it? Some wants to move every now and then. Some want to react immediately. That is one pattern. Likes and dislikes are also different. Our likes and dislikes are next. Some like sweet things, dessert things. Some like srikanda, basundi, fruit salad, custard. But some still say, I don't like such sweet things, isn't it? So likes and dislikes are also different. These depend on individual nature. This is called as Prakriti. That is your and that is not Tathi. This is your nature. You have not adopted it somewhat. It is your nature. So your inborn metallic pattern is called Prakriti. So state of three humors, as I just explained, they remain unchanged from birth till death. They are the same. They won't change. If you are Vata dominant, you will remain it is. If you are Pitta dominant, your body will remain the same. If you are Kapha dominant, your body will remain the same. On what does this depend? It is the healthy constitution depends on the union of the sperm and ovum, diet of the mother, nature, and what type of regimens, what the regimens a mother has followed. It depends on all these four things. See, ourself is our nature. This is very important. Ourself guides us to health. When we do not hear and comply with voice of our conscience, we go astray and violate the rules, why we feel unhealthy of hygiene and diet and invite diseases. So to be within one's own self is called swastha. It is excellent word for expressing your health. Health can be maintained by assessment of one's body constitution. So assessment of individual health should conclude, it includes mind, body and behavior of the human being. What does this Prakriti or your body constitution gives you? The insight into why you do things, how to improve yourself. If you know your body constitution, you can just mold it, change it. It permanently it won't change, but you can have little bit modification into it. How to improve yourself. Know your mind and body better. And lifestyle changes can help your organ minimize this influence. It has been one of the most notable basic construct of Ayurvedic healthcare philosophy. It fundamentally explains the biological specificity operating at cellular and genomic level. Now you know all genomes, decoding of the genomes. It is what actually it is related with Prakriti and is held largely responsible for distinction amongst individuals in various arenas of functions and appearance. Another modification advancement, if you want, it is in this. See, a person is lying here and if he has some problem of lack of sleep and all, what we do? We advise him some oil. That is oil put. Now the modification has come. That is the advance. Directly the machine will give you automatic Shirodhara machine. This is automatic. It is not the old pattern is changed to a new one. Here also this is also automatic machine with the length, increasing of the height. Then these are the steam cabinets. Previously the machine was different. Now it has come with steamers. Direct electric steamers have come. So these are different ones. We have different steaming patterns, massage patterns. So these are the some modifications have come. So the Ayurveda practice is based on certain principles narrated by classical text and tradition. So now what we require here, everybody will say we have to come science and technology. What we say, we want some proof, we want some data available, evidence-based. So evidence-based medical practice helps ensure the right treatment is given to the right patient. Treatment is given rightly, correctly. But what evidences you have? We say we have cured so many patients, we have so many things are given. But unless you have certain evidence with you, with the parallel doctor, you cannot speak properly unless it is evidence-based. So this evidence-based medicine has been defined as the conscious, explicit and judicious use of current best evidence, making decisions about the care of the individual patient and the integration of the best research evidence with clinical expertise and patient values. Thus, the aim of the evidence-based medicine is to eliminate or reduce uncertainty in medical practice. The evidence research policy starts from known to known. Whatever you know it is correctly, it is whether it is proved or not. From known to unknown, we have to hypothetical. And from hypothetical, again from unknown to unknown. Nowadays, these interventions are not only prescribed by Ayurveda doctor, but also prescribed by modern physicians and available in all the hospitals. The increased interest of the public and the medical profession in Ayurveda forms of therapy introduces an urgent need for proper assessment of efficacy. This growth in popularity suggests that Ayurveda therapies are effective in some circumstances, but without objective assessment, neither the public nor the medical profession can be sure. See, now the response of medical and scientific community has been increasing interest in Ayurveda issues. There has been increase in number and proportion of clinical trials on Ayurveda. when we say advancement in technology, there are many advancements, as I said. We have come with pulse examination to Nadi Tarangini. Even the assessment of Prakruti, what I told you, there is a software released now. So we have a questionnaire, like 58, 60 questions are there. We ask the person, and accordingly we get the answers and we assess. Nowadays the software is come where an individual can assess oneself, what is its own constitution, and accordingly see what diet is advised. And you can follow the diet and you can keep yourself healthy. That is one software come. So here again there are different things. Even we have some examinations different for urine. What we see in modern urine examination, we see what? Physical examination of the urine, if you do, you see certain chemical and physical experience, physical and chemical examination is done. Whereas we have some different examination for it by putting drops of oil. Even that software is come now. So different software. So now another thing which is very important is come is nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, which is one of the best methods that influenced human life in different ways, and is a substantial approach that assists to overcome the multiple limitations of various diseases, particularly neurodegenerative disorders. So this nanotechnology is one of the, so many medicines have come. This is the something which is very sukshma, means whatever we give in mega has to be given in micro, at very sukshma. These neurodegenerative disorders are defined as some examples I have given here. Range of disruptions in functions or structure of the nervous systems or neurons. Such lasting progressive damages may cause disability in thinking, movements. These are the certain changes in the neurodegenerative. So on these, certain medications have come. The medications have come on many. These are certain specific changes I have taken here. But the audience is, go. No. So these are certain formulations also. Herbal-based nanosystems have promising proficiency in the treatment of these neurodegenerative changes, either alone or in combination with other drug. So there are certain even nanoparticles, you know now, different have come, nanotechnology, different medications have also proven, given good results in this. No, don't go for this. Even degenerate DNA chromosomes, last card. DNA chromosomes you must have heard of. So there are also telomerase in that, which is the key enzyme involved in the chromosomes. On these telomerase also longevity and shortening of the life can be detected. These are the different examinations have come, that is telomerase inspection or examination. Some good. No. So these are the certain advancements explained in Ayurveda, which if we follow the science, so if we follow the science properly, then the main motto is to keep oneself healthy. If we follow the science properly, we can keep oneself healthy by maintaining the diet, maintaining the regimen, maintaining certain exercises. Whatever some candidates will say, some students will say we cannot do more of exercises. Some students will say we can run for a longer period also. So there is continuous degenerative changes occurring in the body. So to compensate with these degenerative changes, with the exercise and all, there are continuous degenerative changes going on in the body. There is catabolism, what we call it. So to compensate with this catabolism, we need to have metabolism in the body. To have this metabolism, you should have sufficient balanced diet and at the proper time and with proper quantity and quality. If this is maintained, one can keep oneself healthy. So try, my message to you, assess yourself, try to see what is your constitution, try to see what is better, beneficial for your health. Accordingly, you can have your diet, you can have certain exercises and keep oneself healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that very interesting lecture. I would now like to request some students to ask any questions if they have for ma'am regarding this lecture.
Ma'am, what is Guduchi?
Guduchi is one of plant, Tinospora cordifolia. It's one of the plant which has many, many benefits of it. It can be used in many disorders. Guduchi, Tinospora cordifolia, the drug is.
And Punarnava?
Punarnava we use in urinary infections. Sometimes if heat is increased in the body, that also Punarnava can be used.
Trikuti?
Otherwise, Punarnava in calculus, stone, urinary stone, that can be used.
Trikuti?
Guduchi has Guduchi has n number of benefits, which is also called as Amruta. Amruta is what? Which acts like Amrut in the body. Amrut is also called as oxygen. Guduchi, how it is a climber. It climbs. It climbs. It is a climber. So which takes oxygen. So if gives you the similar is comparison, as I told you, nature, we are the small representatives of nature. So it is if you compare with nature, how the climber is, if you take it, definitely it gives you oxygen, it is said. Next.
And Orek?
Trikatu you said?
Huh? Trikatu. Trikuti I had not.
Trikatu it is.
Okay.
Trikatu it is Shuntha, Miri and Pimpri. Shunthi it is dried ginger. Okay? Miri means pepper. Miri pepper, black pepper, everybody knows. Miri and Pimpli is pepper longum. So these three together have different effects. And individual, if you give, there are certain different results you get in the body.
Triphala?
Triphala is
last one.
Haritaki, Hirda. Hirda, have you heard of? Laxative. Bibitaki and Amalaki. Avlo. Avlo you have heard of? Big avlas nowadays, the season is for avlas. Chavanprash is made of avlas. That is.
Thank you,
It's
ma'am.
used as laxative also, Triphala. Whereas Trikatu is used as to increase the digestive power of the human being.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm Vinay Parab from DMS College, Mapsa.
Yeah.
My question was that Ayurveda has been at least for like thousands. Some scholars suggest that our Vedas are at least 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
Then our ancestors, our scholars, ancient scholars, have been active for so long, like for this thousands of years, and they haven't came with electricity or today's Western modern concepts. Then don't you think that there should be a reason behind it, and we should not mix the ancient Bharatiya Ayurvedic these concepts with today's technology, because the more we stay connected with the nature, the more we are connected with Ayurveda, and the more we live healthy, because our body is also made up of 5 Pancha Mahabhut, we say. So the body is nature, and the more we live with nature and in sync with nature, we will be more healthy. So
Yes.
don't you think that combining this technology and Ayurveda, like you explained in your sheets, would be harmful for our body?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Huh? See, we are not mixing here. Don't try to misunderstand something. Though it is with nature, it is made up of 5 Mahabhutas, it's correct. We have certain fundamentals, basic principles explained by our science. And we have not mixed our fundamentals or basic principles. The basic principle fundamentals, they remain the same, what they were and what they are, and they will live further. That's why I said it will gain global importance now. So fundamentals remains the same. Whatever your diagnostic pattern is there, it will remain the same. As per the technology, it is not going to change. Your fundamentals, your examination pattern, your treatment patterns remains the same. What change is as per the modern, whatever modern life now we say. For example, I tell you, diagnostic patterns and everything are same. Some people are asking now whether whatever sonography machines have come, are they explained in Ayurveda? Though they are not the curative this thing for all the sciences, only modern sciences, they are just the modern gadgets. They are modern gadgets explained. So this technology you can adopt, you can keep your fundamentals as they are principles and treat the patients adopting the technology. It doesn't harm, absolutely no harm in adopting the technology at all. Nothing. And you have to adopt. You have to adopt, because nowadays you see it is computer world. We may say we were using pen, we were writing. Now people, they say we are faster in the laptop. For example, I tell you, we read newspapers. Myself, my age, we read newspapers. This age group, what they say, we are reading papers on the mobile. Yes. Correct? If I ask my children at home, have you read the newspaper at least today, what the paper says, what news have come? Yeah, I read on my mobile. Whereas when we read, we don't feel comfortable on the mobile. We feel comfortable when we take it in the hand and read it. Understand? The knowledge will be same, but it will affect your eyes more. Correct? So adopting the technology, laptops have come. Now you can adopt the laptops. Who says no? Computerized world it is. Writing the textbook, instead of writing, you can do it on the pen, get published. What harm is there? Adopting the technology. Provided you keep your fundamentals, principles, same there. Doesn't matter.
Ma'am, benefits of noni fruit.
Yeah, noni fruit. Noni fruit, many have given, the company, they give different advantages, or they say it is benefited in all the disorders. But if you ask me about the noni, we haven't taken trial as such. Whatever trials they have taken, they say if one can experience it on the self, on certain disorders, then they can prove it. But if you ask me, it is not benefited in all noni fruit. It cannot be benefited. It may be advantageous to increase your immunity a little bit, as I say, but it is not advantageous in all the disorders. Noni fruit.
Ma'am, last question.
Yeah, good.
Who is Dr. D.B.A. Narayana?
D.B.A. Narayana? I
Yes,
don't know. D.B.A. Narayana, no.
Former scientist he is.
Former scientist he is. He is
In
a
Ayurveda.
scientist. Yeah, he is a scientist in Ayurveda, but I don't have fair idea to explain.
Okay, miss.
Yeah.
Any questions from the school students? Would like if some school students ask some questions.
Myself, I'm Sujal Nageshari from Sri Ganesh High School. I want to ask that, is there anything means specific type of plant or root which can cure any type of diseases in Ayurveda?
No, you cannot say that. It depends, as I said, no. Every individual has different the constitution. So one medicine in one person cannot cure all the diseases. No.
It's one type
It has
of plant.
one plant. For example, you take tulsi, simple tulsi, isn't it? We say tulsi is good in all the disorders. But maximum tulsi, if you see, the effect itself is, what happens is it purifies your body first of all and acts mostly on your respiratory tract. So though we say it will, you take 2 tulsi leaves, it will increase your appetite also, but it's most benefited in respiratory disorders than others. So if one plant has certain benefits, for example, what he said, guduchi, compared to tulsi, guduchi is more effective in many disorders. Many disorders we can use guduchi. But one plant is beneficial in certain system more than others.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what is the view of Ayurveda with regard to milk in the diet?
Yeah, with regard to milk in the diet, if you get proper good milk from cow's milk or buffalo, it's proper, then it's really beneficial. As they say, it increases iron and all the such things. We don't give it in other way. We say it is madhura, sweet. Shital means it helps to give energy to the body. It helps to decrease heat in the body. Understand? Means whatever pitta disorders, if you say acidity, gastritis and all, it helps in reducing those and it gives definite energy to the body. And we advise right from young age till the old age, we definitely advise a person to have a cup of milk in the morning for the breakfast. It is beneficial.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes? Yes, sir. Yeah. They can have both in winters or summers, both, depending on the prakriti. Some have tendency towards having cold and cough. They are advised not to have in both the seasons. If you are healthy, no complaints, you can have it, provided don't have curds at night. We don't advise curds at night, in the afternoon. You can take in summer season also, you can take in winter season also. Fresh curd, not kept in refrigerator for a longer period, no. Fresh, you make it curd today and have it. It is advisable only in the afternoon, in winter also and summer also. Yeah? Yeah. Huh. No, we don't advise, because iced tea have different composition itself is different. So the qualities of it are different. If we have more and more of, though it is tea, no, finally it is tea, iced tea also. But with the qualities being different, it will have some which will increase pitta in the body. Whereas water will never. Water is similar to our body composition, no? Our body is composed 80% of water we have, no? So water intake water is absorbed, taken by nature in summer. And to compensate, we should have water. Instead, we would advise you tender coconut water instead of iced tea.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I just want to ask that before having honey, one day I was having honey. My mom said that not to have with the hot water. Why it's so? I just
no.
want
The
to
qualities are different a little bit. We say it viruddha anna. Though two different qualities. Honey and water, hot water cannot go together. As we say, no, salt and milk, can they go, for a simple example, salt and milk, can they go together?
No.
It cannot go together. Hence, I advise our children not to have cheese frequently. Cheese is made from milk and salt. Similarly, hot water and honey cannot go together. Okay. That's why. I can explain you the qualities, but you won't be able to, honey is little bit of, what you say, it causes dryness in the body, more of. Ruksha, have you heard of, like Ushna and Ruksha? It's hot and Ruksha, dry.
Ma'am.
Who is there?
Ma'am, here. Ma'am, here.
Yeah.
My question was related to her question. We say that all the things we cannot combine and eat.
No.
Like a banana and milk. They say
Correct.
it's a wrong combination. So is there any way to know that whatever we are eating, when we combine, it is correct or not?
There are many ways. You have to go through reading, no? Otherwise, go to the doctor, take the advice. He will tell you if you want. Or reading improves your knowledge. There are many fruits, custard, and all cannot go together, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just now, as madam said, so you came to know. Yes. So for this, what is required is reading or taking advice from somebody or going for such thing which will improve your knowledge. Will you come to know? As I salt and cheese, I told you just now, similarly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the question was relating to the honey and hot water thing. It is told these days, or it is heard that you should drink honey with honey, lemon, and hot water in the morning. Why is it so? If honey and hot water are not.
Honey and hot water, nowadays they advise, but we don't advise honey, lemon, and hot water. Because it causes, I told you, more of dryness in the body. Sometimes if continuously taking, some people, they complain of we are having some weakness, nervine weakness, or also sometimes it is explained. People take it for what? People eat a lot sometimes, sit idle, have more of sweet. They say we want to reduce weight. And sometimes to reduce weight, it is explained, have hot water in the morning with honey and lemon, which will reduce your weight. But with reduction of the weight, the results caused in the body, sometimes they are different. Understand? So we don't. Correct.
Thank you.
That's what I saw. As I earlier only said, my first sentence also was the constitution being different of the human being. One thing advised for one person cannot be beneficial for another. You may say honey and water has helped me, but if she takes, it will not help her.
Ma'am, I. Yeah. Ma'am, can you explain me what are rasayanam?
Rasayanas are the things which helps to improve the longevity of the body if taken from a right young age and if continuity in that with proper dose is maintained. For example, Chavanprash. Chavanprash is a rasayan. It is advised for young age also. It is advised for old age also. Because amalaki, what avla, it also is a rasayan dravya. Rasayana which gives you, that means the person's longevity increased means what? Healthy longevity is increased. That doesn't mean that you will live for 100 and more than 100 years. No. Whatever certain age you will live long with healthy life.
Okay.
That is Rasayana.
Ma'am, if Ayurveda has so many advantages
Yeah.
and if it is so good, then why is more preference given to allopathy?
See, these are two different things. I cannot comment on this. Every pathy, every science has its own benefits, merits and demerits. Correct? I never say modern medicine is better. Have I commented today? Nothing. What Ayurveda says, how Ayurveda benefits, that I have explained you. Finally, what happens? Some people want immediate results. In emergencies also, we go to the, isn't it? As I said, in pandemic also, when there were severe complaints, naturally you had to get admitted and take the medicines, right? So every science has its merits and demerits. You cannot deny it.
Oh, ma'am? Yeah, ma'am, can you tell me about plant-based milk in Ayurveda?
Plant-based?
Milk.
Plant-based milk meaning what you want exactly?
Soy milk, cashew milk, something like that. So nowadays people are...
people are taking it for high proteins. Yeah.
They're also taking it as a vegan thing. You know, instead of animal-based milk, people are shifting
people
it
are
to
shifting
plant-based
to plant-based milk.
So
but
what is
some
its role in
researches
the-
are not proven. It is not proven. The researches are going on this. Whatever we advise, what animal milk, whatever is given, you have to take it. We don't say no to it. You don't immediately shift to plant-based medicine milk. We don't say this. Because research, it is not proven as yet. Researches are on it. We advise mostly because what the concept here in the mind of the person is milk is for proteins. What the concept people have, milk is for proteins, isn't it? It naturally increases your protein in the body. So the soya and all have high rich in proteins, no? So people say soya protein milk is, that is protein compensation. But milk doesn't have only proteins in it. As our Ayurveda science says, it doesn't contain only, there are many other benefits.
Miss, additional question to that question
Yeah.
only. I have this my opinion that whenever we are struggling to know what is right and wrong, I just see that it is natural or not. Like the people, they say go vegan, don't drink milk, and they'll show some studies that these studies have proven that milk is bad in some ways. So I just think this way that milk, it's natural. When we were born, our mother starts lactating, and that time we were fed breast milk. So it is a natural process. Then it shouldn't be the milk should be good only because it is natural now.
Yeah, milk is definitely good. I never say no to, because my thesis, PhD mainly on the breast milk. My MD, my PhD is on the breast milk. And I have done research, so much research, that I definitely say breast milk is definitely advisable. And so for all the time you cannot get for the child. So it is a certain period. So after that too, you have to continue with the milk. We never say no. So his question you asked, I said no, you have to take from young age to old age. We always say take milk in the morning, which helps in growth of the body. If you want it parallel, which increases kapha dosh, which helps in growth of the body.
Are you okay to take more questions?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Teacher, Ayurvedic
I am
and
happy because they have listened the lecture properly. Attentive, they were all attentive, this proves. I am happy today.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah?
Ayurveda can make any medicine of all kind of disease.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Then why?
But there are some limitations. Not can be cured. If you say there is heart attack, you give something which will give immediate result, I will say no to it.
Thank you, miss.
Definitely. So many pandemic we have cured, no? Yeah, it is totally different. I will explain you later. HIV definitely, we have. Cure means what? It cures. It is a autoimmune disorder, no? So it is something different. Autoimmune disorder.
I think your movie is about
Yeah. Diabetic management, first of all, diabetes is, there are juvenile, two types of diabetes, no? That you have to see first, what kind of diabetes is. And after diabetes, you have to see what the examination of the person, and accordingly what diet you have to, mainly diabetes diet is very important. You have to have advice proper diet to a person, not immediate diabetes, go for medicines, no. We advise strong diet for the patient first, and then we add slowly medicines to him. Depending on the age, depending on the what kind of diabetes, and depending on the what the readings are. One person that whatever, one single drug is useful for this, useful for him, no. Diabetic cannot be cured. One patient's diabetic cannot be cured with the same medicine for the other. Sadabahar, Sadafuli leaves, yeah. There are Sadabahar leaves are good. Then bale leaves, bilwa, those are good. Methi is good. But depending, I said, no, you should not have gastritis and acidity and all. Sometimes these bale leaves or Sadabahar leaves, they may cause acidity. It has to be taken early morning before breakfast on empty stomach. 4 pana kha, now 3 pana kha. This is advice. But depending, if you don't have gastritis and all, then that can be.
Ma'am, last question.
Yeah.
Last
Ma'am.
question.
Ma'am. How homemade ghee we make it at home?
Yeah.
That how it affect means good for our health. Homemade ghee.
Homemade ghee is always beneficial for the health. Always, as I say, milk is always beneficial. Similarly, homemade ghee is always beneficial for the health. Regularly one can have 1 teaspoon of homemade ghee regularly for the body. Your dryness of the body goes first of all. So you see some persons, the complexion is different. Complexion varies, isn't it? Some are always, what you can say, some have good complexion, some have, the skin is dry, the joints are prominent, and all. If you take ghee regularly in the diet, your complexion increases. The joints are also, the movements of the joints. It is a lubricant given to the joints also, intake of this. It will help in movements of the joints proper. Not take 1 teaspoon today and tomorrow you will run. No. Take regularly, then it will help you. And it will help in the growth of the body also. Slow growth of the body.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering all the students' questions. I'm sure they
Are you satisfied with the questions and answers given? Yes. Thank you very much for proper attention. And thank you for giving me the opportunity, the organizers giving me the opportunity to have so much nice interaction and lecture with the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to request ma'am to take a seat on the dais. I would like to request Professor Gadi to say a few words.
Thank you for the wonderful and informative lecture. Looking at the interaction, definitely it's nice to know that the students are very much interested in Ayurveda. It's said that, okay, catch them young. So I think we are on the right track. Okay, thank you, madam, for the wonderful lecture. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the organizing committee of Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, I would like to request one of the volunteers to present a memento to madam as a token of love and appreciation. Yeah, sorry. I would like to request Professor Gadi to present the memento to Madam. Thank you, sir. I would like to request Ms. Dwiti to present a memento to Professor Gadi as a token of our love and appreciation for being the chairperson of today's session. Thank you, Dwiti. So today the lecture session has commenced. I mean, it's ended over here. We will now proceed for lunch break at 1 o'clock. So you all may remain seated over here, and then as and when the food is ready, you all can proceed to the cafeteria at 1 o'clock. And yeah, and then at 2 o'clock we will be streaming a science film, which you all have to be present for over here. So now. Okay, so we'll just start the streaming process, and then at 1 o'clock we will break for lunch. Okay, so kindly remain seated.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
With several Indian startups coming forward with scientific innovations to push India's marine robotics. One such company is Chennai-based Planis Technologies. This technology startup provides underwater robotic inspection and survey solutions using indigenously manufactured
which are there around. Okay, so I hope you have read it.
Very, very relevant and also belongs.
Not now, 3:15.
Part of this program. Other programs also were part of it.
Till 15 minutes to go around and read it.
So without taking much time, because I hope most of you know about IIC. This Institutions Innovation Council, it was started in 2018. And currently we are running the 4th edition. We have more than 2,777 IICs or councils established in higher education institutions. More than 421 universities are part of it, and 182 standalone colleges. In last 1 year time period, more than 28,000 activities were carried out by all these IIC institutions all together. This number is very huge. In first year, it was only 10,231. Last year in IIC 2.0, 1920, it was only 26,493. But during 2020-21, in spite of COVID and the lockdown and shutdown, majority of all these institutions, they didn't stop. They started organizing online activities. And I think this is a great achievement of the IIC network, that no lockdown has stopped us in terms of learning, in terms of sharing our knowledge. And the result is quite positive and also encouraging. If I will talk about the different infrastructures and support systems we have built through this IIC network, also quite impressive. Out of these 2,777 IIC institutions, more than 600 institutions have established incubation unit, either with the government support or with the industry support or with their own support, own resources. It's really they've established innovation cells, startup cells, Nidhi Center, tinkering labs, technology transfer units. So these are kind of...
Say the answer on the mic and get your prize. Okay? Clear? Okay, first question. What is the full name of APJ Abdul Kalam? You have to come here, answer it. You cannot answer from there. Okay, we have someone coming here.
Abul Pakir Jainul Abdin Abdul Kalam.
Give her a big hand. Okay, so you all also have a chance now if you all know the answer. Okay, now tell me, second question. What is indelible ink composed of? Indelible ink. It is on the posters. If you all go and see the posters quickly, you all will come to know the answer, you all will get a prize. Come. Students. Teachers not allowed.
Silver night. Silver nitrate.
Yes, correct. Give him a big hand. Okay, so teachers know prompting the answers, okay? Now, next question. Who was the first woman engineer of Karnataka state? The answer is on the poster. Who was the first woman engineer of Karnataka state? No cheating.
Rajeshwari Chatterjee. Rajeshwari Chatterjee.
That's the correct answer. Rajeshwari Chatterjee. Give him a big hand. Okay, one more question from the poster. There is a supercomputer called Param Pravega. Supercomputer called Param Pravega. Which institute has commissioned that? Which is the institute that has made it? It is there on the poster. Which poster? Param Pravega. Supercomputer called Param Pravega, commissioned by an institute. What is the name of the institute? This is some good exercise after lunch all are getting also. Someone is coming running with the answer.
Indian Institute of Science. Indian Institute of Science.
That is the correct answer. Here, here's a prize. Just a moment. Say, pose for the camera. Thank you. Okay. Next question. Who is the father, listen carefully, who is the father of modern astronomy in India? Who is the father of modern astronomy in India? Who is the father of modern astronomy in India? The answer is on the poster.
Nicholas.
In India. India, in India.
Venu Bapu.
That's the correct answer. Yeah, some of the prizes, one of the volunteers had the prizes. I have only so many spot prizes left, huh? Okay. If you have already answered, you all are not allowed to come again, huh? Someone new has to come. If you have answered correctly, I'm saying. Whoever has got a prize will not come again, okay? So, next question. Which vaccine has been effective against rotavirus? Which vaccine is effective against rotavirus? You have to come here and answer.
Rotavac.
That's the correct answer. Pose for the camera. Thank you. Now the session is getting interesting. Okay, next question. Where was the first human genome sequenced in India? This is a bit tricky question, so you all just look around the posters. Where? I want the name of the institute. Where was the first human genome sequenced in India? First human genome, where was it sequenced? I think only one person has gone to search for the answer. I think others are all happy with the Kit Kat that they have. Where was the first human genome sequenced in India?
IGIB.
Can you tell me the full name?
No, I don't know.
Tell me the full name fast and come. I want the full thing. It's an institute name.
Institution of Genomics and Integrative Biology.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. Now, some questions maybe not on the posters, okay? So, some general knowledge. Okay? Whoever comes here first has to answer, okay? I want to know the name of the state fish of Goa. State fish of Goa.
Shoto.
What's it?
Shoto.
So you all are from the same school, no? You all can share.
Araku.
Thank you.
Answer sound. Shoto.
She said the answer, Shoto. It is also referred to as the mullet. Okay, next question. Who is known as the Rocket Man of India?
APJ Abdul Kalam. Yes.
Okay. Okay, last question. If anyone can tell me correctly, okay, something similar to the state animal only, I want to know the name, proper name of the state bird of Goa.
Yellow-throated bulbul.
Ruby-throated yellow bulbul.
Ruby-throated yellow bulbul.
That's the right answer. This was the last spot prize. Give him a big hand. Thank you very much. You all were a very nice crowd, very nice. And keep up the knowledge. Always study hard and strive hard in whatever you feel want to do in life. Thank you.
India is the fourth largest automobile market in the world and is projected to become the third largest in the year 2021.
Hello.
This increased mobility has a downside. More vehicles on the road means greater emissions, more pollution. India also imports 83% of the oil it consumes, making it one of the biggest importers of oil in the world. Which is why there is an ambitious target pushing for 30% of our vehicles to be electric by 2030. How will we achieve this? What is our manufacturing capacity?
The beauty of night sky and the celestial events that takes place at that time are both stunning and compelling.